We're already into the
Oh,
thick
we're
of
red
it.
side still. I'm trolling. Sorry about that.
They had the option. They want to run it back. The Rumble bans. Now, Rumble good, obviously, on this patch. The magic resist reduction, this champion can be super oppressive, but I am thrown off by how much respect they're giving to Licorice. Because Licorice is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't see this many targeted bans for top lane almost ever.
It could be a particular issue for Bong, maybe not having good answers into some of these AP threats, getting rid of those, keeping the Kennen and Vi bans though, so are grabbing more of the targeted AAA tier bans thrown at them from the red side here. Does mean Kasante's left up, and so Golden Guardian's going to snap that one right away. A very common pick for both Gory and Licorice. They love flexing that one around, so snap to pick that. We'll see what they want to answer with on the side of R7.
An opportunity to go for something like Ahri Wukong, which is conventionally considered one of the powerful mid-jungle duos, but instead, Seo gonna get the hands on the Aphelios very early in the game. So it might just be a very different game plan this time around for R7. They tried to have a bit more of an explosive, a bit more flexible bottom lane, but maybe gonna go back to good old tried and true standard scaling backline AD carries instead of whatever amalgamation of buzzwords you want to use for Zeri.
She can kind of do it all, but realistically more of a late game threat. And in that sense, you're probably not worried about getting to late game versus Golden Guardians based off how game one went. So you want something with a little bit more power early on.
But interestingly, it feels like with the Maokai locked in that they've opted for more neutralizing champions. Sapling's going to give you a lot of vision. Yes, Maokai can set up a lot of these good plays, but oftentimes you're pairing him with, you know, an AP mid laner as well. So have to see where they're going to go. Golden Guardians may take this opportunity to put their foot on the gas. Go for something like Lucian Nami. The struggle is obviously if you fall behind early game, you're going to get very cleanly outscaled by the Aphelios. But instead, looking to put their the pedal to the metal, so to speak, with the Lucian Nami duo.
You're chief Lucian Nami hater though from EU, correct?
Yeah, so mostly this is because this duo as a whole, when you execute it very well, is incredibly oppressive, but it requires you to capitalize on every little opportunity, whereas champions like Jinx and Aphelios, you can mess up a lot of things. As long as you get to 3 items and can play team fights well, your champion's going to output. Whereas if you mess up in Lucian in the early game, you never really get that power point. Mid-game, late game, he doesn't have the same impact. So if 6A and Huhi can pilot the champions to a good enough level, it's an incredible duo. But when in doubt, I always just say, hey, just pick scaling. It's simpler.
Well, fortunately for NA, they are one of the better Lucian Namis in the league. 7 picks, 5 wins with the combination.
Oof, unheard of in the LEC. I'm not memeing. It has like a terrible win rate. This doesn't come from nothing. That said,
I believe you. I will not watch any games involving the LEC and Lucian Nami, and hopefully we don't see any of this tournament. But for NA, it's a good slam here, given that they had such a good time in the bot lane, or excuse me, in that game. And I was saying about how Golden Guardians can kind of play to each lane depending on the draft. So this time around, you can expect to see more resources probably coming down to them, especially post-6 when they have their ultimates online.
And now, as we head into the second ban phase, Olaf taken off the board makes some sense. I think just want to give respect to that pick overall if they're going to put the Kasante into the top side of the map, but keeping the Kasante as a flex is an option. Gwen also taken off the board. Gragas, Nidalee, the ban's on the opposite side. Nidalee not a champion I'm particularly excited about, but obviously can really take over a game if she gets rolling early.
Yeah, Nidalee is a very feast or famine champion and can look quite bad when things are not going well, or makes the entire game about her. It feels like it's either one or the other. I do like the Gragas ban though, knowing what we saw out of Golden Guardians against BLG. The win that they were able to grab involved the Kasante, Gragas, Yasuo flex combination there. And I think Nidalee kind of matches that idea where you have double 80 soul lanes potentially or something, and then you have a Nidalee kind of running wild where no one's stacking MR and your spears can hurt a lot. The Jace Slam I do like, but this is something we see quite a bit for Golden Guardians playing into the Jace or playing it themselves in both mid and top lane. And it's playing against in top lane at least.
It's not a champion that Bong or Miru who've spent really time on in terms of the games that we've seen on stage. The Nocturne now locked in. G2 have played the Nocturne mid. We've seen Nocturne in the jungle, I believe. So we'll have to see where this pick is going to end up. And I think this is an opportunity for Golden Guardians. The fact that they can potentially add another flex pick to the mix is big because at this stage, the Jace remains a flex on the side of R7. So trying to get as much advantage as they can. However, once you lock into Talia, feels like that does confirm the Nocturne for the jungle and the Kasante for the top lane.
Most likely the case, and I do think this gives Golden Guardians a lot of tools to deal with that Jace if it is going to go up to the top side. Licorice will have a bit of a rough laning phase in the very early levels and whatnot, but then post-6, you can expect a lot of resources to potentially go up there. You can also go down to the bot lane if you want to play around the Lucian Nami as well, so Golden Guardians having a lot of map movements available. Jace going into the mid lane then, a little less exposed in the shorter lane, and hopefully enough laning prowess to lock Gory down and stop those roams from coming in.
And this is a champion that can very quickly take over the laning phase. I haven't loved Jace as much since the changes to Gore Drinker, where you have to kind of build Gore Drinker if you want lane sustain. Obviously, a lot of the other lethality items taking that sustain away, I think limited a lot of his ability to snowball really cleanly, but we'll see exactly what Miro can do in the early game up against Gory.
Is this just an EU thing? You hate all early game champions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that's very execution reliant, I'm like, please stop.
I have to have a good lane phase? I don't want it.
I don't want it. You have to have a button you can push that instantly CCs the enemy champion, or I don't want to play it.
I need a team fight ultimate, or I don't want it.
Yeah, you either scale or you have very simple execution. That's my. I'm not going to condemn all of LEC to that philosophy, but for me, it's like, please.
I'm taking notes. I'm sending.
You're great. You're so good, but you're also so good at pushing R. So hey, keep it together. That said, execution-heavy draft from Golden Guardians, maybe an opportunity for a bit more stable, a bit more reliable draft on the side of R7, at least in terms of late-game team fighting, to come to bear. That said, again, a story of weathering the early game. A lot of very powerful early-game picks, especially in the bot lane for the side of Golden Guardians.
Definitely the case. We'll see. Like you said, sticking with a lot of team fight ultimates outside of the Jace, between the Maokai, Malphite, Aphelios, and Lulu, a very easy front-to-back kind of team fight, team comp where you just want to hit the closest target, finish them off. And I will also say for Miru this time, having the better lane phase matchup is something that I'm very excited about for him, because we highlighted him in the early game as one of the people who could potentially get the gold lead in their favor here. We'll see if R7 can pull off a big win in game 2 to force a game 3.
If you are an R7 fan, they need to hear you throughout every stage of the game. Their backs are against the wall. Made history yesterday in that series. Have to make it again here to taking down the Golden Guardians. But now, just poking, a little bit of vision laid down. You notice that the dance-offs have stopped here in game 2. Things getting a bit more serious.
You also saw the Prime Gaming call out in the bottom there to get emotes. Also, this is one of the first international tournaments that had co-streaming so early on enabled. And I'll do one for all my co-streamers around the world. Any primers in chat? Did you know? If anyone's got the audio on, there you go.
Marksy doing him a solid. Gory now coming down, though. Lions definitely not doing a solid. Already burning the heal in the early laning phase. Sayo taking a lot of damage as well. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Are they just going to completely concede the lane, or are they going to stick around on half health? This is crushing.
Yeah, I mean, Lucian Nami is a very strong lane, but oftentimes not considered level 1 particularly strong, especially with Aphelios, Lulu, Green Gun. You think you should have the ability to kind of out-trade them if you play well early on, but the fact that you're starting lower HP, having to burn your pots already, no more pots available for the Lulu here means that Golden Guardians can just keep taking aggressive trades and then top themselves off with the sustain from the Nami as well.
Yeah. The fact that Hui can just continuously walk up and go for the little small heal, small damage trades is going to be so incredibly frustrating. Sayo, though, not too scared. Knows he has the range advantage, knows that Lucian is relatively low on mana. Remember, they did hit Lucian-based mana a few patches ago, so you know, you only get a few opportunities to go all in trades in the early levels. See if Stixxay has options for Biscuits. I assume he has, so he will be able to get some of that mana back. But level 2 going to be a big deal, and R7, despite early trades going against him, despite the lack of pots, still doing what they can to go blow for blow in the early trades.
Trying to go blow for blow, but I think Golden Guardians understanding just don't get all in, and you're going to win this trade sequence very heavily. So much more sustain available with the Biscuits, with the extra pots here, and 2's coming in on this creep.
Oh, Hui. Does he have the bubble ready to go? It's EW. Stixxay instantly going in, and there it is. Sayo now trying to back off. The onslaught coming in from the red gun just to heal a little bit back. But again, game 1 started the same way. It was full confidence from the Vi in the mid lane. River flashing in with the Q. This time around, Stixxay immediately going to dash in and just delete Lions. That's crush.
You could feel it coming too, like wolves staring down their prey, knowing that the Lulu was so low and going to be able to be jumped on top of level 1 at that point. Still, nice kill there by Golden Guardians.
They're taking a decent chunk here. Oh, this is not... Oh, R7 fans, you might want to look away. This early game is not going great.
Yeah, Gory was the first team All-Pro for North America, so he's no slouch in lane, to be fair.
Krish now getting aggressive. The only lane that's not winning in isolation now has a jungler in it, so things looking good overall. The trail is going to hit. I'll try to chase. Double flash over the full commit.
There's the fear tether.
Bong trying to walk away. Just getting absolutely smoked on the top side there. Hitting him with the loud flare as well. And the thing for R7 is, again, yesterday was so historic. You want to believe in their ability to turn things around, but Golden Guardians proved in game 1 that if they get a lead like this, they will snowball, they will take over a game, and now R7 are going to have to dig deep. They're going to have to show us something they've never shown us before if they want to come ahead in this one, because everything in this early stages is all Golden Guardians.
Yeah, well, again, similar to last game at like the 4-minute mark, around a 1,000 gold advantage for Golden Guardians. Both of the side lanes dying as well means that they're going to be able to attack them once the 6s come online for Golden Guardians comp. Maybe Ripper will head topside to rip apart Bong again.
Licorice. Yeah, it's tough. Malphite early on was getting a little bit of the early prio, starting to fall apart. Audi will see if he can get anything done here. Again, the Maokai reliable CC, the flash W, the twisted advance can't do a lot of work, but finding that angle is tough against the Taliyah. Hard for Jace to follow up in the hammer form. And right now, Mark, it's a roughie.
It's a Diffie and the Biffy a little bit currently.
There's a couple Diffies. Diffie in the health in the mid lane at the moment as Miro just keeps getting hit by the flick here. He really needs to buy boots, and that's one of the things that's annoying about Taliyah. How do you get boots? It's not entirely a freebie, but it's very easy to hit those flicks. Going in, knowing that the E cooldown is down, respect to Miro, instantly going to get out with the phase rush, so clearly itemizing appropriately to try to find these favorable trades in lane.
Licorice with the wave stack, using that time to go ahead and get some vision down on Audi. Still playing very aggressive for the fact that the jungler is seen up there, but with the massive wave, just happy to push in, get a turret plate, get the gold lead in his favor.
Yeah. It's got to be so frustrating for Bond. Just hit after hit on the top side.
Oh boy, yeah. Licorice having a very good tournament so far. Up there in best top laner conversation thus far of these games. His Cassandre was critical in the game that they were able to take down ELG in, and I think a surprise for a lot of people around the world as a whole at this point, as Miru, Tether not going to be there. River not quite able to get in range, but they are forcing the flash out from the Jace, and his next few minutes are going to be so difficult, because River's not even level 6 yet. Already he's made 2 plays on the map. Still just a level 5 Nocturne. Soon he will turn out the lights. Yeah.
And that's going to be tough inside R7.
Going to be very scary. For the side of the River, I will say he's also not usually a power clearing, team fighting carry jungler. He plays a lot more of things like the J4, Sejuani's setup for his team, buy, these kinds of things. So a bit of a change of strategy in Golden Guardians here, where he'll be getting more carry resources and potentially putting this on the radar of the other teams at MSI as something they need to be careful about.
Bubble hits! Oh, Huhi. Sayo, is he going to try to keep this one going? Very positive trade overall right now, level advantage for Stixxay. Sayo, decent guns if he wants to keep the fight going, but River already descending on the top side of the map. 2v2 there for now.
Bong should be safe up there. Stixxay just got another cookie, ate the Scooby snack, working down now to keep pushing in the bot side.
All those cookies, man. Hungry boy. Anyway.
Get the munchies, you know?
Yep, it's respectable. River now moving in, just going to try to contest some of these camps. And I will say that on the subject of Golden Guardians, as an outsider to your league, watching, coming in for playoffs, coming in for the big series, the surprises and the upsets, I've been impressed by the kind of consistent glow-up. Gory, obviously, a monster in that mid lane. I loved his Cassandre move domestically, and it feels like as we've gone international, continuing to see them show new things. And that's exciting when you think ahead to what could be a run to the bracket stage of all the different styles and strategies they've shown so far. Stixxay playing aggressive champions, playing scaling topside, Licorice playing Cassandre, playing things like the Kennen as well.
Yeah, I think Golden Guardians is a new organization for pretty much every international fan. Might not have seen them before. This was a team that had won a single best of 5 previously in the organization's history prior to this year, had never finished really higher than a 500 win rate in terms of regular season.
Yeah, for LEC fans, they did a BDS, if you don't understand what's
we BDS'd them, for sure.
Yeah.
And so that was really exciting. But the players on Golden Guardians are all veterans, actually. Players who have been around a long time. People have won titles. Every single player, except for Gory, has a domestic championship, though they didn't get them this year, clearly. Yeah. This is a team with a lot of experience and who has played on big stages before.
That said, maybe an angle here.
Ooh,
Audi flashing over the wall. The twisted advance now following. Stixxay doesn't have the summons because of the previous trade. Huhi now trying to find the bubble. The knock back, keeping him in the reach. Sayo, big kill. A start of something for Rainbow 7 here on the bottom side.
Love the aggressiveness out of Audi there, the veteran jungler for the side of R7, knowing that they need to do something to disrupt the laning phase out of Golden Guardians. The aggressive flash into the river to get in there. Very nicely done to get that kill onto Stixxay, stop any potential snowballing from coming in.
And it's a classic Maokai play, but you love to see it executed. Hiding the incoming ultimate with the wall, keeping it out of vision, going over the wall, immediately following, using everything that you have just to get in range and really making that happen. And if there's one way to win this game, it is getting the Aphelios ahead of the clock, using this beefy front line that you have, all the CC and setup that you have to shred through a lot of these squishier health bars. You're in the mid lane doing a little bit better here. It is crazy. I mean, I know he just wants more lethality, but like I feel like boots just make your life so easy. And he's like, no, I will play this on hard mode. He will not level up, you know what I mean? It's a level 10 Elden Ring run. He refuses any extra movement speed. There's no vigor here. He is just going in free.
Yeah, it's one of those items you can buy, which makes your life easier, but you know, you want the damage. We'll take another look at this real quickly. There's that flash over the wall. Nice knockback as well, stopping Wuhi. No 6 yet for the wave to potentially try and peel the back line there, the punch back into the rest of the enemy team. Easy kill.
Damn it. Doing Stixxay a little dirty here.
The king is down.
They made that very dramatic, but we talked about this as well, that Lucian is a champion that if you shut Lucian down, suffers a lot. It's not a Jinx versus Aphelios matchup. It's not scaling v scaling. So taking Lucian potentially out of the equation or limiting his impact early on can be big. That said, River grabbing an uncontested Herald on the top side does mean the Golden Guardians can start to look to knock down some of these towers. Here comes the wall, trying to split off Adi. It will not work.
Yeah, trying to set him up. If you got the bounce back, knowing his flash is down, it's very easy for River to pop his ultimate as well, and then all collapse on top of him. Wuhi was also in the river, so nice play there out of Gory, but not able to find that one. Does cost a potential roaming ultimate as well, so in terms of pressure release, it's very nice for R7 to actually absorb that one without losing anything. We'll still have to see where River's first ultimate ends up going.
R7, and again, slowed down in the previous game. The Guardians are getting further and further ahead at this point, really taking over the map completely, but already R7 have fired back a bit more in this game too. Can they keep it going though? The ward is huge. Good highlight there. Wave now coming in. Lions can just start to back away. They don't need to overcommit to this play. They do have the jungler behind them. They're waiting. The Nocturne ready to go in at a moment's notice. Sayo has to be careful. He gets too low. He's immediately just going to get executed here. The retreat now coming out. Ulti into the bush. Decent damage, but can't quite finish the kills.
Nice patience there out of Golden Guardians. They do get pushed back. A very good attack by R7, kind of baiting Golden Guardians to take that trade forward. River did have a sweeper, I believe, and saw potentially that there was a ward, or maybe it timed out, but somehow that ward got cleared. So I assume River was aware of it. He does have the Rift Herald, so he couldn't have dropped it and swept it. Either way, maybe was aware, because he held his Nocturne ultimate the entire time, not trying to go in there and get baited, knowing Audi was on the bot side. But with that pressure, R7 taking that trade, getting enough pressure to grab the dragon.
And that's big. You can see early Bloodthirster buy is the name of the game for Sayo, just trying to weather the storm of Lucian, Nami, early harass. Now coming down. BT going to get picked up on the first base, and that's going to make this lane phase much, much easier. Free boots coming through for Stixxay as well as the Gale Force, though. Maybe can look to get something done. Licorice on the top side. Not going to be able to stop that recall. Overall, much closer game thus far. The first few levels look pretty grim, but R7 holding on now. But Miro to back away.
Phase Rush keeping them alive after flashing out so that the flick was not easy to land by Gory. Went back, checked it. Wuhi sweeper turned on while retreating, saw the ward and cleared it out. But that is a huge play by R7 in the bot side, stopping any potential snowballing of objectives, making sure they have a gold lead.
Yeah, and I think it's really on Golden Guardians to keep their foot on the gas here, because one of the big strengths that you highlighted already, the Talia, the ability to roam, the Nocturne, the ultimate, range relatively low on the first level, but obviously as you get later in the game, it's going to be more and more, and really want to shut down and isolate some of these side lanes. Sayo can heal up from that courtesy of the Bloodthirster, but that's a big chunk. They need to continue to push on the bottom side, and I think they might just do it. You can already see Nocturne coming down, Talia coming down, River and Gory ready to punish, ready to set up. If Aphelios doesn't have the time to auto-attack the minions, he will not have time to heal back up. So instead, they're just going to drop the Herald and walk away. It seems like the threat of them being there is enough for them. They don't need to try to overforce for kills, just going to try to put more money in the back pocket of Stixxay.
Yep, just keep getting plates into your Lucian, accelerate him further and further ahead, get him with his Mythic already completed. Getting some more gold for Wuhi as well, so he can try and grab that mandate pretty quickly here. That is truly when the Lucian Nami turns online, a level 6+ Mythic power spike as an all-in here.
Taking Bong back to the side of his
Bong
house
has ult.
map. Bong can't just ult here. Has to be careful not to get too low. Licorice keeping his trade going, trying to stay as healed up as possible. Excuse me. Bong now going to run or try to run. Licorice pulling him back. Finding the solo kill onto Bong now up on the bot side of the map. Nocturne already throwing down the ultimate, but Aphelios is still standing. For now, they're going to find the one kill. Aphelios will finally get burned down. Stixxay hitting him with the piercing light. Wuhi now on the retreat. Gory trying to make his way out of this one. Miro knocking him back to the waiting arms of his team. Does Jace have the damage to finish his kill? Gory trying to get to the flick, but it will not connect. Adi getting lower and lower. Lions looking to 1v1 Stixxay on the bottom side. A bit of supportal combat. He'll find one, but on the top side of the fight, Gory will trade back, taking the mid laner out of the equation.
Huhi hiding in the brush equalizes the kill there, but the big thing, the support battle, Lions getting aggressive, taking down Stixay. Licorice also finding a solo kill in that top side fight. Very nice Q3 on the blast cone to actually hit him back and interrupt that. Very heads up play, showing champion mastery there as Audi!
Audi! Oh, one last rock. Take him out of the equation, a little nature battle there.
Rock versus earth. Rock versus grass.
Tree? I don't know.
I think actually
if Atlas was here, he could talk us through the
beats
Pokemon.
ground, I'm pretty sure, in Pokemon. Or no, wait, ground, but
again,
stone.
We're not experts. We don't have Mr. LCK himself, Atlas, here to run us through it.
Unfortunate, but for the side of R7, a decent fight in the bot side that fell apart towards the latter end. Here we'll see this 1v1 again. Bong holding his ultimate the entire time. Yeah, hits him over the wall. So it'll be a second before you see the Q3 that I'm talking about here, as Bong doesn't want to use his ultimate, just wants to walk over to the blast cone to get out. Licorice holds it and pops it right there, so instead of going over, I think actually was he just on the wrong side of the blast cone?
No, the pullback did hit him. The blast cone knocked Licorice back, the pullback did hit him.
Yep.
I think the read on the situation was correct. You see this fight, of course, starting off just burning the ultimates, Nocturnal now coming in. Aphelios just barely able to live, but that last auto from the passive from Lucian able to finish the job.
Yeah, so even though they finish off the Aphelios quickly, it does cost. We don't have time for it. Nocturne
River.
back into fighting.
Theo, once again, good guns. Nocturne turning off the lights, but do they have the setup to keep this fight going? The tidal wave coming in, it's going to connect into one. River trying to turn this fight back. The Maokai already ulted, the wild growth coming through. Lions isolated on the backside. Now it's Seo versus 2. Seo, can he turn it back? He does not have the damage. Lucian, so damn strong. Imperial Mandate, Gale Force, baby, just shredded health bars left and right. Nocturne going to grab a kill as well. R7 getting shredded in that exchange. 6K gold difference between these two teams.
R7 thought they found a pick off onto River potentially, but once the lights turned off, it felt very risky for them to charge into that choke point against Denami, against the Talia.
Howdy, nice backstep. Huhi.
We got some bloodthirsty supports out here, man. Huhi feeling himself.
Water versus tree. How does that?
No, that is definitely a grass favorite encounter.
That one I can remember.
That one I know.
There you go.
The starters.
There it is.
But yeah, very, very good fight for Golden Guardians, kind of forcing them into this small corridor where a lot of their line skill shots, the Talia, E, Nami, all is going to get tons of value, making it very scary for R7 to chase in.
And while it looked better for a little bit, we're kind of back to the same position that we were in game one. Golden Guardians feels like a pretty indomitable gold lead again. Maybe some creative angles from R7. They could try to get something back. But that second Herald in their back pocket. They don't have a Drake, but they have all 3 outer towers down. They have basically total map control all the way up to those tier 2s.
In terms of playmaking and proactiveness, a much better game out of R7. They have had angles that worked well for them, so I'm very happy to see that. But you're right, in terms of game state, not too different from the previous game. 8,000 gold lead, I can do math. You know what I miss?
What?
In NA, our overlay has like a little gold thing, you know, and it stops you from having to do math, and I'm very stupid. So it's
That's what they don't think about when they make the overlays. They don't
like
think about how
your
dumb,
color
how
caster.
dumb are your casters. That's what they have to factor in.
That's the metric of the success.
How much do I need to know to cast this overlay?
Oh boy, yeah. Golden Guardians in a very commanding lead. Not like there was much of a threat of Drake stacking, but stopping that one down.
Yeah.
I mean, they're first of the game.
I mean, it is Hextech Soul too, arguably the most, actually just definitely the most powerful soul in the game. Now they're all going to go in under the tower. They're going to try to one-shot that carry. They're going to succeed. Adi now running for his life. The bubble will connect. It's going to take an extra second there, but Stixay now on a killing spree. Golden Guardians leveraging that lead beautifully.
Golden Guardians definitely playing the fans. Everyone having Loud in the wheel there, spamming that. As we see Licorice taking a fight underneath the turret.
On Mirror, some nice footwork here. Clean sidestep there. Lions behind him, but his window of opportunity has now closed as the rest of Golden Guardians have arrived.
North America looking good in the Battle of the Americas.
True. True. Can't always say the same for Valorant, so nice to have it in at least one game.
Shelly getting some good value there, trying to break a turret before 18 minutes trying to get into the inhibitors. Not the case though. Bong just wanting to get a little bit of gold on the top side.
Licorice.
No ult, fortunately. Not up yet.
Keeping that tower alive. Doesn't want to give it to him. He'll get it. Bong winning the moral victory, but he will probably lose the 1v1. River, it would be disrespectful to involve yourself. It was a 1v1. It was a gentleman's fight, but River is unconcerned. Victory more important. Now going to try to knock Bong backwards. It's taking forever to kill this Malphite. But he will die. Huhi will take that kill. Does water beat rock?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Do you know that one? Nice little battle there. Don't you remember the episode? Ash like turned on the sprinklers to win against.
I don't know. The last time I watched
Rock.
Pokemon was when they did the end of the show and they started playing the original theme song again, and I started crying.
Everyone cried.
I just cried for like an hour. And
I don't
like,
know where
"Ooh."
the age limit was, but somewhere like 26 and up, everyone cried.
I'm almost crying again thinking about it.
Can't play by play. I'll take it over.
All right, thank you, thank you. Just having a moment.
Very, very good game out of 6A here. Massively ahead, 4-2-2.
Well, and Licorice just shadowing, covering here. And the struggle of this composition is your really big proactive engage tool is Bong. Bong, of course, taken off the map means it's really hard to get anything started because while Audi did find a creative engage on the bottom side, that's the other option. You can just W flash into him, but he just immediately is going to get cold down. Just getting piercingly lit there. Insane now retreating. Licorice going in. Again, Golden Guardians just beaten down with their wallets at this point. R7 desperate to find anything, but Golden Guardians simply too far ahead.
Bong trying to get ardently blazed by 6A. Dodges out on that one.
Well, here we go. Gory going to wall them off. Here it is, R7. One last desperate stand. And they make it happen. They're trying to burn down one member. Licorice too damn tanky. 6A uncontested on the back
shooting
side.
fish in a barrel.
Oh no, it's a slaughter. Run, Sayo, run. There's just no room. He's feared. He's taken out. Bong's going to hit 3. But it's not enough.
Golden Guardians, 5-man corralled, all R7 underneath their inner turret. Gets the ace at the end of that play. Audi has revived.
That was
Crushing.
crushing. There were a lot of adjectives we could have gone for there. You can take your choice. That was, yes. R7 now at a deficit at 20 minutes that I think is statistically impossible to come back from.
We'll see what AWS has to say, but I expect it would be a pretty accurate prediction at 100%.
Yeah. I think it's 99.9. Yeah, break this one down, Mark. What did we see here?
So what we saw is one team very far ahead using a Talia wall to block any potential escape, forcing them between their turret and the Cassante, who is very, very strong. R7 tried to go onto the Cassante a little bit there, but they don't want to overcommit onto him because 6A is backing him up. It just leads to all of these skill shots flying in from range. Gory just pelting away with the rocks the entire time, hitting the squishiest members first, finishing them off, and then going for the Malphite.
You know what makes this game even harder, other than the fact that Golden Guardian's about to grab an uncontested Baron, is that there's no magic damage on the side of R7. Their Maokai is building tank, and that means Licorice can just recklessly stack armor with no abandon. That Ninja Tabby, or plated steel cap, excuse me. I'm a boomer.
I do it all the time.
It's the greatest buy that anyone's ever made in the history of the sport, so.
I appreciate the hype on the plated steel caps purchase, but
he can't die. He can try to prove me wrong right here, but I don't think it is possible for Licorice to die. If he ults, maybe. If he doesn't ult, I don't think he can die.
He can find a way, I'm sure, if he chooses to. The Fountain Laser always available.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Wants to dive there, but R7 pressed into their base. Last defense here. Mid inhibitor already broken. Top inhibitor going down next. R7 do take one out. I think that might have been a misclick by Spooky to take the Hex Gate out of the base, because there's no reason to not just sit on top of R7 here.
Audi on the flank. One last fight. Sayo, big ultimate from the Aphelios. Will it be enough? Can they start to burn him down? Just trying to take 6A out of the equation. It feels personal at this point, but now they're just leaping into the backline. River now running forward, but the towers have locked him up. They're going to take him out. There's a jungler down. R7 doing what they can to hold on. 2 members hit by the Aphelios ultimate, but it's a double for 6A. He's still standing. Golden Guardian's still standing. It's only 1 kill at the end of the day. R7 doing what they can, but it feels like this is just over.
Both Soul Laners going to recall back with the Baron empowered, reset, then TP back in to try and end the game here. 4v3 base defense by R7.
Licorice pulling them back. Again, he is unkillable. Sayo does not have the damage, the items, the stats. He cannot get anything done here. Golden Guardians ruthless in this game to an unrelenting assault on the hopes of R7. R7 will be eliminated. Golden Guardians keeping their dreams of the bracket stage alive.
Clean 2-0 by the side of Golden Guardians to advance to the best of 5 tomorrow. One more step away before they reach the main stage at MSI. The 2nd seed from North America making quick work of their opponents here today.
And there's not a lot left to say there. They were by far the better team on the day. And a lot of the hectic scrappiness we saw from yesterday, there was just no opportunity for R7 to get down in the muck and fight with them. Our Golden Guardians always one step ahead. Getting some well-deserved love from the crowd here in London.
Very good showing for the boys from across the pond. Very happy with that one. For R7, though, it is still a historic run that this team was able to make. It's important to keep that in mind. The LLA had never won a best of series in international competition until yesterday, where they were able to take down, of all the regions, the BCS.
Yeah, the bane of many regions historically, especially in best of one, but they were able to best them in a best of three. I think that is still a big achievement, and it sucks because